I think one of the things that an adequate philosophy, worldview, or mythology needs to address and depict, in this case fictionally, is the journey toward becoming. And it's not just an individual journey, and it's not just a hero's journey. This is the fourth in my video series on making a mythology for our time. And we're leaning on fiction to help us do that, because fiction is the mythology of today. So in my novel Soul Mapper is a protagonist, Lucas, who wakes up without memory and has no idea how he got to San Diego, where he is, when he is, no idea. And he's got to figure it all out. So I think a lot of us, at least I can, relate to his disorientation, because I think we all go through times when we have no idea what to do. Things are so uncanny that we've lost our bearings. And so I wanted to show in this novel what one person who doesn't identify with the figure of the hero does to understand his place in the world. And it's a long journey. So in my previous video series on Gnosticism for today, I talked about something called the Gnostic journey, which is different from the hero's journey. I listened to Campbell. I like his work, by the way. I listened to him talk about the hero, and he's, a mother giving birth is a hero, a soldier is a hero, and this and that. And I always go back to, if we're all heroes at one time or another, nobody's a hero. And then when I go to the mythology itself, it's pretty clear in different cultures that the hero is a highly ambiguous figure. The figure of the anti-hero must have been invented by Americans. Or at least the West, because in many cultures, both figures are fused together. The hero's not idealized. And likewise with the hero's journey versus the Gnostic journey toward knowledge, toward gnosis, doesn't start with trumpets blowing. It doesn't start with, some kind of hunt in the forest or any of those examples that Campbell gives. It starts with something uncanny. It starts with something out of joint. And so those times in our lives when all of a sudden, as Albert Camus put it really well, it happens that the stage settings collapse. Those are times that might be invitations into the Gnostic journey of really understanding the illusions by which we live so that we can trade them up for deeper stories. And that's what happens to Lucas. And keep in mind too that although this is a journey of self-discovery, it's also a journey of cultural self-discovery. It's a journey of how does my situation relate to that of other people who themselves are faced with the uncanny, with things breaking down, with chaos on the outside, and no one to guide us on our way. What do we do next? So if you ask Lucas, his answer would be, keep going. Go further into the journey, because we have to figure out what it's about. He doesn't like it. His first action is to protest. I'm not going to do this. But he has no choice. And that's the situation for a lot of us. We're thrust into situations where we have no choice. So onward.